everyone, Val here, and I have been invited to a collab. It's called Monster Bash, and this is hosted by Roy over at Recipes with Roy, and I will put a link to his channel and everybody else's channel who's participating in the collab in the description box below. So go and check out what they came up with for Monster Bash. And Monster Bash is basically Halloween party. What would you have at a Halloween party, or snacks, or just fall, getting us ready to get in that Halloween fall festival kind of mood. So I've decided for mine, I'm going to do a pumpkin custard pie, and that will be our dessert for tonight. But I'm going to also make up some brats and some hot dogs. My grandson Gavin is here today, so he wanted hot dogs. I'm going to do brats for Steve and I. I've got some dough, and I'm going to wrap them and make little mummies out of them. Put a side of macaroni and cheese on there. We'll have some salad, and we'll have our pumpkin pie for our dessert tonight. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to start first with making my pie crust. So let me get my ingredients together, and I'll be back. We'll do the pie crust, and then we'll put the pumpkin custard together for the center of the pie. So we're going to start with 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just using the Food Lion salt. And we're going to sift that into our bowl. I'm doing a pie crust for like a double pie, only because I think I'm going to have extra filling left, and I'll use some of the extra pie crust to use in either muffins or something, where I can put the dough in there and then add the pie filling. Now once we get the sifted flour and salt in here, we're going to add 2/3 cup of shortening or lard. I'm using the Crisco. And I'm just going to add that in. And we're going to use a fork and just kind of make this into a crumble. I'm sure you all know how to make pie crust, but I'm just going to add that because that's part of the recipe. We have to make the pie crust. You can always, go buy a frozen pie crust if you want to, or if you wanted to use a graham cracker pie crust, you could make one of those or go and get one of those from the store. I'm just going to make my own. So we're going to just kind of crumble this butter in here until it's, or this lard in here, until it's the size of like peas. We're going to have it just be a little crumbly. And make sure we mix it in good. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Just want to make sure the big pieces of lard are broke up. And once we get that done, we're going to be adding 6 to 7 tablespoons of cold water. And we're going to do it a tablespoon at a time. So just going to put my cold water running slowly here. All right, that's 3. 5, and 6. It says 6 to 7. And I usually like mine with 7. So I'm going to add another tablespoon to mine because I'm going to add flour to roll out the pie dough. So we just add the 7th. Alright, we're going to mix this together good. I'm going to wash my hands because I'm going to be working this with my hands. I don't wear gloves because I just prefer not to. So I'm going to get my hands washed and we'll get this dough formed. Okay, I'm ready. Put my some of my stuff away here, and I'm just going to work this pie dough up together. I don't want it to crumble. So if it's crumbly, I'm going to add a little bit more water. Just want to make sure it doesn't crumble when I'm rolling it out. Because like I said, I do use I'd use flour to roll it out. I'm going to add just 1 more tablespoon of water, and that will make 8 tablespoons. And I know y'all probably think that's too much, but I'm kind of new at making pie crust, and I like it a little doughy so that I can flour it good to roll it out. So I'm going to take I did a little more than half on this. Put some flour on my board. We'll roll out our dough. All right, get it to the, the thickness that's good for pie crust. That feels good to me. I'm going to roll it in half. I'll brush it off a little bit. Get my pie pan. Put him over here. And I'm going to lay this down in my pan. Make sure it's in there good. And then I'm going to pinch it up into a crust here. This pan has a lip on it, so I just have to kind of work around that. So I'm just going to take a knife and go around here to get the rest of this pie dough off it that's left over, that's hanging down, and put it in my bowl to have it for later. Alright, we're going to set the crust aside and we're going to work on the pie filling. Okay, we're ready to make the pumpkin custard for the pie. And these are the ingredients we're gonna need. We need 1 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree. I have pumpkin out of my garden. I put 2 cups in each of these bags. I'm gonna use this whole thing. And we'll probably have a little bit of pie filling left over, which is okay because we have a little bit of pie crust left over. We're gonna do 3/4 cup of sugar, white sugar. We're gonna do a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We have a cup of heavy whipping cream, and I just need to put it in the cup. 1/2 cup of milk, and I have that in the bowl. Oopsie. And then 2 eggs, and we just need to beat the eggs. So we have 2 beaten eggs. And then we need our pie crust. So just gonna beat these eggs up. Face you back down here. We'll beat these eggs up. And we'll see. We're gonna heat the oven to 400, and I just turned my oven on. So my oven is ready to go. The first thing this recipe is telling me to do is take the pumpkin puree and put it in a saucepan. And then I'm going to be cooking this over a medium-high heat. It says until it's caramelized. It said about 15 to 20 minutes. So I have this on a medium heat. I am going to get my emulsion machine and make sure that this is pureed up really good. That worked really nice. It's not stringy at all. You know, when you get pumpkin or squash fresh from your garden, sometimes it's a little stringy. With that emulsion blender, it did a beautiful job smoothing out this pumpkin. So we're going to cook this on a medium heat for about 15 minutes. I've got my timer set for 15 minutes. I'm just going to come and stir it from time to time, make sure it's not sticking. We just need to try to caramelize it. And like I said, I've never done this recipe before. So this is all going to be new to me. And we'll see how it comes out together. It's been about 11 or 12 minutes, and you can tell this pumpkin is really cooking down. It's a lot of the water that's in it, like in most fruits, is cooking out of it, and it's getting thicker, which is what the recipe wants it to do. So I'm going to just keep monitoring it. I'm doing up some of my dishes from this morning and cleaning up my kitchen a little bit while this is cooking, but I'm keeping an eye on it and I'm stirring it up every couple of minutes. So we're going to let it go another, this says 3 minutes would make 15, so I might go a little bit longer than 15 because the recipe called for 15 to 20 minutes. But I can't see any caramelization yet, so I'm just going to continue to let it cook, and we'll come back and check it again in a couple of minutes. So that cooked on the stove for about 18 minutes, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to put it out of the pan into the bowl so I can mix it in the bowl. I don't want to mix it in the pan because there's a little bit of burn over here. What's up at the pan, and I don't want to get that mixed in. So I'm going to place it in the bowl. I'll go ahead and get my pan soak in just a minute. And the recipe says to stir in the sugar, the salt, the ginger, and the cinnamon until it's well combined. This is gonna smell good cooking. Get that sugar off my spoon there. All right, that looks nice. And then we're gonna stir in the heavy whipping cream. The milk. And the 2 eggs. And we're going to stir that till it's nice and creamy and smooth. Doesn't that look wonderful? We're going to pour it into the pie once it's all creamy and smooth. The oven is preheated to 400, and this is going to cook for 25 to 55 minutes. That's a pretty big span that this recipe has. 25 to 55 minutes. So I think, and it's saying the center, a small spot in the center will still be a little bit jiggly. So you don't have to wait till it's all the way hard on the top, but that looks nice. So let me grab my pie crust, and I'm putting my pie crust on top of a pizza sheet, just because if it runs over, I don't want it to run over into my oven. So let me see what I have here. Oh yeah, that's going to take all of it, so I won't need to use the rest of that pie crust. I'll make sure I get every bit of that goodness out of the bowl. Alright, there's the pie. So I know that a lot of people cover the edges of the pie with aluminum foil so that it doesn't burn. You can do that, I guess, if you want. It doesn't say to do that here, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in just the way it is. I'm going to check it in 35 minutes. If it looks like the pie crust is getting too burnt, I'll probably check it before 35 minutes. But if it looks like the pie crust is burning too much, then I will cover it. So it looks pretty. What do y'all think? All right, let me get my oven open and get it into the oven. I'm going to put it in the middle rack and put my timer for 35 minutes, and we'll come back and check it. It's been 50 minutes. It looks like it's done. I took it out because it said up to 55 minutes, but everything looks pretty solid. The crust didn't burn. I didn't cover it. It's a little bit, yeah, it's not really dark, but I'm gonna let this set and see how it looks, and we'll try it for dinner. Alright, we're gonna start dinner. So I have the macaroni and cheese started on the stove, and I'm doing the cheater method. I'm using Kraft macaroni and cheese. So I've got 1 box of that started on the stove, and I'm gonna make my hot dogs and my brats. We got 6 brats and 4 hot dogs there. I don't know how much people are gonna eat. And then I have my Grand's biscuits, and we're gonna make some mummies for our special spooky treat. So, let's see how to open this thing. Start here, it says. I could have made my own pizza dough, I guess. But life is busy and I am tired. So this is saying these have to cook for 375 or 350 for 11 to 15 minutes. My oven's heating up, so I've just got to put them together. Let me open my container here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna face you down. There we go. So basically I'm just gonna smoosh it down and all right, let me smush it out. There we go. We're just gonna cut strips on it. And roll the mummy. Roll the mummy. So let me finish these up and we'll throw these into the oven and cook them up. Okay, the mummies are done. We're going to put them in the oven for about 15 minutes. My mummies are out of the oven. There they go. Now, if you wanted, you could put little eyes on them with mustard. I tried, but it didn't work. But yeah, you could add the little eyes and stuff. But here's the mummies. We're gonna go ahead and eat. The mac and cheese is done over here. And when we get ready to cut our pie for dessert, we will do a taste test for you, let you know how it turned out. All right, how was your mummies?
They were good.
How was your mummy?
The mummies were good.
The mummies were very good. I had mine with sauerkraut. Did you like your mummy?
Sort of
Good mummy.
Sort of like pigs in a blanket.
They were good. It actually was good for a change of something different. All right, we're gonna cut this pie, this pumpkin custard pie, new recipe from the internet that I found, and see if it's worth keeping the recipe or if the recipe will go in the trash. So Steve's gonna plate it up.
I will try.
Steve's gonna try to plate it up.
I'm gonna try.
And we'll put.
I am Steve.
And we're gonna put some Ready Whip on it. Extra creamy. How's it look? Ooh, there you go. That looks nice.
It's all you.
Okay.
That looks nice.
Here comes another one.
I am pie. All right, that pie. Gavin gets first bite. All right. Oh, sorry.
Just throwing it at me. Just throwing it at me.
Took a tumble. All right, I'm gonna try my pie. Light and fluffy.
Does that mean you like it?
I do like it.
Hey, Mikey.
She likes it. It's got really good flavor.
She don't like anything.
That's homemade, or that's pumpkin out of our garden. Kind of got like a maple leaf flavor, almost.
It's good.
Because they had me like caramelize the pumpkin, like cook it down for 20 minutes.
It's good.
Yeah, it had really a nice creamy,
It's good, isn't it?
caramely taste almost. Yeah, we'll give this one a thumbs up, y'all. And thank y'all for watching. Leave a comment below. Remember, it's all about the Avenger. Give the video a thumbs up.
I am Steve.
And he is Steve. And Gavin should never have showed him that song.
Yeah.
All right, check out everybody else in the description box below and see what they are having for their Monster Bash.